I'll keep it simple. Most of you guys have girl problems, and when I ask most guys why do they have the girl problems, basically I ask a bunch of questions. And the number one root cause from 99%, not 99, but like
majority.
The overall majority, like 80, 90%, is they don't source. They don't have anything coming in to their lead funnel. So it's like, oh, I want to get laid. Okay. How many girls did you talk to today? 0. What do you expect?
And then they wonder why there's no results. So you guys, we did a course back in the day, DMs on Demand, which might be coming out pretty soon. Who knows? But in essence, we brought you through the new way to get girls, which is online game, in detail for Instagram. Now, there's many others you can do. But Myron, you used to do back in the day cold approach.
Yeah.
Can you tell them how important it is to do that now versus back in the day? Because nowadays, it's hardly ever a thing being done.
Yeah, the pandemic made a lot of people comfortable with online dating and kind of just being sitting from home.
Yeah.
I do think that cold approach is still one of the best ways to collect leads. You know, obviously I can't do it as much now, given
Who you are.
It's fucking, oh, I know you are. You're the asshole. It's like, bruh. So it's not the clout that you guys think. Like, but this is like the worst kind of clout you get. You racist, that type of shit.
It doesn't help.
But it does help you find base girls. I'll say that, because like if you're polarizing, like only girls that kind of have your worldview like will be attracted, which is kind of good. But in general, guys, cold approach is the first, the most tried and true method, and it simply works. And I would argue after the pandemic, it's actually a better time to do it, because those 4 years locked indoors actually made a lot of people socially inept. So you getting out there and talking to girls in public again, or like doing cold approaches, is kind of novel. Now, let me be clear about this, guys. Going up to a girl in a loud, noisy fucking nightclub and saying, hey, yo, what's your number? Like, that's not a real cold approach, guys. I'm talking about making a legit, valid approach at a time where it's almost, how do I say this? It's not like an environment conducive to hooking up. Does that make sense, guys? So, like, for example, you're at the grocery store, see a girl, clearly she had just finished working out, getting some food. Oh, I like that brand of strawberries too, but this one's better, and you show her another one, right? So you've done a couple things by doing that. You're displaying awareness, you're displaying competence, you're displaying that you're also fit, similar interests, etc. Right? Especially if you're, in good shape. Now, what you've done is you've taken a venue that is normally used for procuring sustenance, and now you're pretty much spitting the sustenance to the girl, if you guys know what I'm saying. So you've been able to take a routine situation and make it novel to her. And I don't think enough guys understand how important it is for how you meet, right? A lot of girls want to be able to go to their friends and say, oh, how'd you meet him? Oh, I met him, like on some fairy tale shit. I was in a bookstore and I walked into him and the books fell down and he just picked them up for me and he was just so charming. Like, girls like that story. So if you can be something close to that, though it's scary at first, don't get it twisted. It's not easy to be in a grocery store and just hit on random girls. Like, it's tough. But if you're able to like kind of build attraction there, it's going to go a long ways, because she's going to value that interaction more, guys, okay? Anyone that does night game or goes to the club, you guys all know this shit. I used to have a rule. I talk to at least 30, 40 girls a night at the club. Why? Because I know 90% of those phone numbers that I collect are going to flake.
Yeah.
Meeting a girl in the nightclub where there's alcohol, it's dark, things are random, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you don't close that night, there's going to be a very low likelihood that she's actually going to show up on a date.
Follow up, yeah.
Right? So, but if you meet a girl at like a grocery store or somewhere more natural, and you set something up, that'll be a lot more potent, because she'll remember it, it's novel, and it'll work better. And you met her in a high-value way.
You mentioned cold approach at different locations, right? Guys, it's a numbers game, man. And I'll give you this. Even myself as well, when I first came to America, I would go to sometimes lounges and bars and clubs. And you guys know I had a terrible stutter back in the day, even worse than now. And it was more like, okay, I can talk to 10 girls. I'm going to stutter on 3. The last 7 I might pull through and make it happen. But it took practice, and more so like practice over a period of time. Granted, though, I have a video I want to play for you guys real quick. And when you don't practice talking to girls or people in general, you kind of cram up a lot of times, especially if you're like someone like me or like myself. And what happens is you actually become this person in the video in real time. Play real quick. This is your gym crush talking to you for the first time.
This guy's funny.
Yeah. Oh, you seen his videos?
Yeah, that's the guy that brought on, right?
Nah. This is
he looks like, oh shit,
it's
okay.
Similar. You can play this one.
Oh my gosh, hey.
Hey,
Okay, one more time.
Oh my gosh, hey.
Hey,
So the point is that like,
First, is that your cousin, bro?
it might as well be. But this is the point though, guys. The more you can practice cold approach, talking to people in general, and there's a rule that we used to do back in the day. If you want to get your, I want to say, mindset off of being nervous or being cramped up at the very beginning, talk to somebody at least once a day. Now, if you can, 10 a day is perfect.
Could be anywhere.
But anytime you're out, talk about something indirectly. Maybe, for example, oh man, it's about to rain, brother. You know, where you're from. Just whatever you can do to spark a conversation, you want to start off with. Now.
Yeah, I did that. Like when I had like approach anxiety.
Yeah.
Like doing that, guys, will make you like. And it doesn't have to be all girls, but like you could just like do it to practice. Like, hey, thought you're cute. Just want to make your day. See where that goes. Even you just giving a compliment sometimes will work. Now I know some of you guys, well, that's being simpish. Guys, remember. This is just for guys out there that have approach anxiety, right? So you got to learn to crawl before you sprint, right? So once you're able to kind of just open and give out a compliment, you'll get better at maybe not giving up a compliment or giving a backhanded compliment and building attraction that way. But you got to start somewhere. For most guys, they have like fucking damn near crippling levels of anxiety when they talk to girls. So I'm not going to tell a guy like that, yeah, just go up to her and start like negging her and use a canned opener and be indirect. Like, nah, bro. Like a lot of guys are starting in square fucking one. So they just got to be able to go up and say hello. Hey, I thought you looked really nice today. Simple. You know, rest in peace to Tom Terrell. He used to talk about this a lot where you come in and you almost kind of, you give a compliment, but the reason why you're giving that compliment is to make the interaction man to woman immediately. Yeah. It's not necessarily to raise to try to sway the girl. It's to make the interaction man to woman immediately, and then based off of you giving her that compliment, the way she responds to it is going to kind of dictate how you move from there.
100%.
Because half the game is screening out women, guys. FYI, cold approach, guys. Y'all are gonna, if you guys close 10% of the girls you talk to on cold approach, you're a fucking god. By the way, so when you approach a girl, you want to look at her body and see if like, is this even worth it? Because that will tell you a lot. That's another beauty of doing cold approaches. You can see real time feedback.
Also, nowadays, you mentioned earlier, after the bear bug, most people are not approached anymore. For example, guys don't approach girls. And it's because either they're scared of the Me Too, which I understand 100%, or they're like, you know what, I'm going to get rejected, I'm good. So they'll send a DM on Instagram, to say the least. Now, if you have the balls to actually approach a girl in real life, and you can talk smoothly, you're not worried, you're not nervous, you're not like crackling up, then you just beat out, I would say, a majority of guys in the first place.
Just by approaching.
But you approached her when most people wouldn't.
And nightclubs don't count, guys, FYI.
Yeah.
Like, making, like, I would argue making, like, 50 approaches in a nightclub is, like, the equivalent to, like, maybe 5 daytime approaches.
Bro,
like,
you know what it is with a nightclub? It is super easy with a table. Without a table, you might as well just give up. It'll be, you might get a shot or two, but to be honest, I'll give you an example.
Keep going, because you just brought something up very important.
You're at a nightclub, right? You get a table. Let's say you're in Vendome, one of the best clubs I think in Miami, personally. You get a table at Vendome, right? There's girls all the way in the middle and outside tables at all times. So you, as a guy on the table, you could be like, yo, security, bring her in. He'd be like, yo, he wants you over here. And just by you saying that, they come to your section. Now, you might have like 5 to 10 girls in your section just for being there with a table. So you can talk to them, give them shots, and it's super easy in that environment. However, they may use you for drinks if you have no game. They may just like use you for photos. Hey, I got about the club, and before you know it, they're gone to the next club. This is why you need game, all in all. But in that environment, just them coming to you is easy because you're the one with the table. So it's not real life.
And I also want to bring attention to this. I talked about this we've been talking about this for years, but again, new viewers and shit like that.
Yeah.
The killer of the nightlife industry, guys, was two things killed nightlife: the smartphone and bottle service.
Celebrities too.
Yeah. So, well, celebs of course too, because Instagram made it more reachable. But bottle service absolutely is one of the main killers of night game, because now, since women are hierarchy based when it comes to being attracted to men, guys, when they go into a club and they see that there's men there of status via a table, they're naturally going to want to go to those guys at the table, right? It's like their natural inclination. So let's say you're like a SMV 9, right? Attractive guy, dressed fairly well, high SMV, right? Though you're aesthetically pleasing, you might lose a girl to a dude that has a table that's a 4.
Yeah.
Because
good point.
Yeah, see where I'm going here?
Yeah.
Because that guy is able to show status. And whenever and this is, guys, this is like very, I'm getting in the weeds here, but I really want you guys to fucking burn this in your heads. Status is by far the number one amplifier.
Yeah.
So since status is by far the number one amplifier,
Overlooks.
guys that are half your fucking SMV can pull a girl to their section, have almost no game, and have damn near a shot as you. That's how powerful status is, guys. Right? And look, I get it. Yo, that sucks. That's not fair. But this is just how women are. And what bottle service has effectively been able to do, it's allowed women to be concentrated in one area, and all, like, few guys have all the women, which is how it's been for centuries. The nightclub is nothing more than a natural manifestation of human mating dynamics in a very primitive format with some fucking techno music. That's what a nightclub is, guys. And ain't nobody gonna tell you that in the fucking nightlife industry. They want you to think you're gonna go in there and have a chance. They want you to think women are there to actually socialize. They want you to think women will put their phone away and give you their unyielding, attention and want to go home with you after. But the reality is, girls are going in there, seeing who they could finesse, who they can get free drinks from, like you had said before, like you get them at the table, but you got to be vigilant. Who can they sit in whose section because they got heels and they want to be able to sit down and be comfortable? All these little things, guys, come into play, right? And it's your job as the man to identify the women that are looking for a benefit that doesn't benefit you and kick them out of your section immediately, if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
So
also, back in the day, clubs were more focused on cover. For example, guys paying cover, then buying drinks to the club, and girls will be in there from the jump. Enter bottle service now, what do they focus on? Getting tables for bottles. And they put a minimum. You got to spend maybe like $2K. Might get a bottle or two, and that's how you get into the club. Girls get it for free, of course, but for you as a guy, it doesn't work that way. So by default, now think about it. If guys could come in the club for free or pay a cover and get girls, why would they get section? Why would they get a bottle? Because they know once you get a bottle or section, girls will come to you because you're the guy with the status, like you said before, and you could be a 4, you could be a 5, you could be a 3. Doesn't matter. If you're a guy with the table, you got a status in that club. So for that night, you're the actual celebrity that night.
Yep. And the thing is this, guys, like, I want to be very clear about this. I know some of you guys are like, Myron, Fresh, that's bullshit. I'm a 9. I do well, blah, blah, blah.
That's cool.
But you don't know what you lose because you don't know what you lose. And what I mean by this is there's girls there that you could have probably had an opportunity to talk to that you're not even going to get the chance to now because there's a table that has her there. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
So you're, unbeknownst to you, when you walk in that club and you don't have a section, you've already forfeited half of your leads. I want to make that abundantly clear for you guys. And these losers, these guys that are half your section market value, now have access to women that you won't. It's like, you know how they say, don't waste food. There's people starving out there, right? You live in a privileged first world country. That's literally what it's like at the nightclub. They have an abundance of food.
Yeah.
The food that you guys got is scarce, and they're just wasting it away because they have so much of it. And they might not even eat it. They might have a beautiful sandwich right next to them. But they took her because she came with 3 other girls, and those other girls want to be in that section. So now you lose access to that girl who was never going to fuck with any of these guys anyway, but he just put her in the right position. Now you've lost access.
I'll give a perfect example. So we were at a club when Trump won that week, and we were celebrating. We did a Trump sign, all that stuff. And one of my friends is a major player in the Miami nightlife, RT. He's one of the guys at Vendome. His table's usually between 10 to 15 girls all the times, right? But what happened was, I know a guy that came into the club with 4 girls from Sweden and Norway, 2 girls each, right? So 2 and 2. He's by the bar chilling. Now, I know the guy, I dap him up, right? And he's with the girls. So I'm in the section, he's walking with the girls right here. So imagine I'm in the section, he's on the side, dap me up. Now the girls see the section, and they see RT, and he's like, yo, come through. He didn't know that.
Raj tipped $100.
Oh.
Hey F$F, thank you for all the value that you provide. 2 questions. First, are you guys gonna do more couple intervention show? Second, Myron, do you still do one-on-one sessions?
Yeah, so actually, thanks for, we need to talk, let's talk with Icy about the intervention thing. Because Icy just got back. Yeah, people do like it. So thank you for reminding me on that. As far as one-on-one sessions, I do. But I'm not going to lie to you, bro. It's cheap. I said cheap. It's not cheap. So you can send me a DM. Myron Gaines X is my Instagram.
Yeah.
Just send me a DM. Say console in all caps because I got to sift through it, bro. I got so many fucking Shaniquas sending me death threats right now. So
a lot.
Yeah, bro. Man. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, we can do that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's $100. Okay, shout out to you. No worries.
Yeah, but we're gonna work on that couple's intervention.
So
soon.
going back to your story. So
Yeah.
paint the picture. You're there. The squad's there.
Yeah.
Promoter, you're there with a big promoter.
Yeah, so it's me, RT, some other like 10, 15 girls, and then there's
That he brought.
2 other guys that he knows, right?
Okay.
So he's like, yo, come to the section, right? And mind you, they're with the guy that I know. Tap him up, and he's just standing there. They come into the section and leave him.
Okay.
Now he has to stand outside by himself, and it's like, so I'm just saying.
Why did RT let that guy in?
Because unless he knows you, there's no point. For example, let's say I'm with people and I want to bring them with me.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta show love and get a bar or something. Because imagine he's there to make the club look amazing.
Yeah.
And he pulls like 10 to 15 girls a night, every single night.
Okay.
So for him, it's like, this is work. It's not plaything.
Yeah.
So that's why I get it.
So he don't want no random dude in
Plus,
there.
I don't know him that well. It's like someone I see. Oh, what's up, brother?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, but the point is that like they left his ass for the table. Now I don't know how close he was to them or what, but either way, they left immediately.
Yeah.
Which proves your point that it doesn't matter if you're the 9. With that status of the table, you lose.
Yeah.
So by default.